explore the unknown. I'm back, and it is not Metal Monday, but I didn't want to drag it out. And next Monday, I do have something else installed, and that's going to be in 2 parts as well. So this is going to be part 2 of Rammstein Deutschland. Schön, dass ihr alle schon wieder da sind, and thank you so much, because I got a lot of people, and I want to give a shout out right now to Megatwingo oder Megatwingo, Michael Fink, and G-Bird, and a lot of you as well, but especially Megatwingo gave me so much insight. And of course I looked into it, and it all looked so plausible that I'm just going to go with it. But if you think that it's wrong, or if you have another interpretation, because that's the lovely thing about music, you can interpret it any way you want to, that is okay. And of course you can tell me, but be nice. And I really would like to address, hopefully for the last time, the fact that I still get comments on the fact that du hast means you have and not you hate. That would be with a double S. I know, but I still believe that hearing it, you do not see the words, you hear them, and then you get double meaning. Exactly, well, I got it. And maybe I got it wrong. I just like to think that Rammstein has that capability of putting more meaning into it than you think at first. And what I read about this video and all the hidden things that were in this video and in the lyrics, I look forward to go look for them. And I look forward to hear your opinion on them, because of course you can think otherwise. That's totally fine by me, but please, can we just stop the du hast situation, because we already covered that in probably every video now, and I would love to go on. Well, having said that, Megatwingo says that the black woman does not represent Joan of Arc or a goddess, but she is the personification, that is a difficult word, of Germania. And that Germania Magna, that is later on in the video, is a Roman name of the area that wasn't conquered by the Romans, but they did have Germania Inferior and Germania Superior. Well, inferior, superior, you all know that what that means, but the Magna, that was still not conquered. And we see that in the beginning. I don't know what will be the proper way to do this, because this will be my first time actually going through the video and analyzing what you told me and try to see if I see the same thing, or maybe I do have a different view on it. So let's just try if we can get the parts where especially Megatwingo said that were special things that we should recall. So I did see, let's see, and I wonder, Mega, the black woman, I think I saw 2 or 3, or it is the same woman with different outfits on. So let me know, because in the beginning, let's just go there, and here you see the Germania Magna, 16 AD, and then, well, and then we see Roman figures. And then we already get to see a black woman with the head. I recall that. And there was something about red beams as well. I have to get into that too. It's still so amazing just to look. There she is. She just cuts off his head. I did not see that the first time. Oh my. Okay, is this the black woman you're referring to? And is she the same that we see later on, all dressed up with a crown like a goddess? So I do get that people would think she is a goddess, and I'm just going with your word for it that she is Germania. I'm just going with that. So that's the first thing. So no goddess, no Joan of Arc, but a black woman as Germania or Germania. And then I have to look this up because I don't want to mess it up. I think it's way too important to mess it up. The line in the song, so jong und doch so alt, so young and yet so old, means that Germany as a unified state is very young. A unified German nation is only existing from 1871 onwards. Before that year of the unification, Germany was made of countries, little mini states, and the people identified first and foremost as Prussians, Hessians, Saxons, etc. And only in a second line of thought they had a loose sense of being somehow Germans too, as a kind of unifying second identity. So, the area and the landscape where the Germans are living and the Germans themselves as people are thousands of years old. But only recently, in 1871, there was a unified Germany as one single state. So, Germany as a unified state is very young, and at the same time, it's thousands of years old. Did you know that? I live near Germany. I'm a neighbor. I do speak German, and I did of course had historical lessons at school. I did not know this. So thank you for this addition, and I love learning, and even at my age to find this out, I love that. If you want to see this video without me stopping it, without me rambling, just enjoying the music as it is, and to look at the video and first reaction, go to part one. There, I won't say anything until the song is over. That's my MO. In the beginning, I did stop because every reactor does, and I thought that was something you had to do, otherwise, you get blocked. And I do get blocked a lot of times, I have to be honest, but it's not my thing. I rather just listen to the whole song, vibe to it, listen to it, react to it, take it all in. And that's what I did on part one. But then I figured that it was too much just to go into it and translate everything and go into analysis of it. So that's why I decided for the first time in my whole reaction career, which is not that long, to do it this way. If you have any comments doing this, just let me know. But like I always said, be nice because it's the first time that I'm going to do this. So again, if you don't like the talk, if you don't like the analysis and going through the video to find Easter eggs and everything, just go to part one if you want to. And if not, that's okay too. But this may be not your video then. Okay? We see the fights here. So I'm just going to assume that this is about the whole Roman thing and Germania Magna. This is difficult for me because I speak English on this channel, but I'm a Dutchie, but I do know German as well. So in my head, it is, well, a mess right now. So if I do mix up all the languages, sorry. The glass coffin, that is from Little Snow White from the Grimm fairy tales and from their own video Sonne, only with black skin and in space. The piano song at the end is the song Sonne as well. That is a beautiful thing to know. That is beautiful to know. And then he says, my interpretation of the red scanner, and this is Mega speaking, there are two different kinds of beams. The massive straight lines that goes up to heaven, and there were those smaller, thinner scanner beams. Aliens or humans from the future are scanning the whole German history, like some real scientists are scanning and excavating ancient Mexican or Egyptian statues, for example. The massive red light beam is the red ribbon of time that ties together all the historical events. Oh wow, that is deep and a lot and difficult, but I will look for the red beams now. I actually see one, and I don't know if you mean that's the big one or the scanner type kind of one, but we're going into that. And again, Mega, and of course everybody else, thank you so much for being so kind to give me all these information so I can look at this video a totally different way. And it was already a beautiful video, but it has so much meaning if you know why it's put there or what is put there. Even what is sometimes so nice to see. Oh, yeah, there's the big beam. This one I remember as well. When I saw this, it gave me like Peaky Blinders kind of vibe, which of course couldn't be more off, except maybe for the dressing style and the fighting. The mustaches and the clothing from the fight scene we're here right now are from World War I and post World War I years, from the working class and the roaring 20s. I do see that. Um, this kind of big bushy mustache was already out of fashion. The falling banknotes of the prison are not about corruption. That scene is about the hyperinflation of the 1920s that took away the savings of all the Germans and left them in deep poverty and desperation. One had to pay a loaf of bread with a handcart full of nearly worthless banknotes back then, and it hit the German people deep down inside and in their souls, especially the poor ones and the simple workers. I get that. Isn't it something that to know that your neighbor country went through so much poverty and misery themselves, and to think that in history class we as Dutch only learned about the war that we were in and that they wanted to conquer the Netherlands. There's so much more to it. And, let's go to the dogs. Okay. Um, to the dogs because I have to be honest. We had German shepherds when I was young, and that's actually the reason why we went to Germany so often. We lived next to the border. I watched German television, but Dad had German shepherds, and we had a winner, a champion, and we went to Germany to train them. And it was a German shepherd. So when I first saw this, I thought there were German shepherds as well. But I think it was Michael Fink or Michael Fink. I don't know how to pronounce that if you're German or from America. There were no German shepherds, but they were Leonbergers, and that they narrowly escaped extinction, and that represents all the German that narrowly escaped extinction as well. Um, I'm just go with that reference because I could see that plausible as well. But if you don't agree, just let me know. It's starting to rain awfully here, so let's go to the next scene. He said that they did not eat the body of the woman and her inner organs, even it may look that way. Actually, I wasn't thinking that. I thought they were eating off the woman. Like, well, in some clubs, you can eat sushi of a nice lady, and, well, you get the drift. And here is what the funny thing is, they were eating a national dish of Germany that was put on a body of the black woman. Sauerkraut, Kassler, and sausages. I do make sauerkraut, but I make it in a stamp. That's what we Dutchies do. And Kassler, love that. I actually drive to Germany a couple of times a year just to get some good meat. Nackensteak ohne Knochen und Kassler. That's my my go-to to Germany. Just inside information, I know, but I wanted to share. Uh, in my opinion, it symbolizes the church eating itself fat on the goods and values of Germany. The simple people, farmers, simple workers, lived a long time in a kind of hell of poverty and serfdom. The red, fetish area below the table with Germania on it. Oh, yeah, I see that. But that eating scene could indeed have a double meaning. It could represent the 30-year war that was fought for religion reasons and depopulated large areas of Germany. It forced the people to commit cannibalism because nobody was there anymore to produce food. Oh my. Except the fat, wealthy people of the church, of course. They were still able to eat enough. Only the simple people of the bottom, the farmers, died from hunger, and they had to fight in that war. The 30 Years of War was the biggest catastrophe in the Germany until World War I happened. Let's be clear about this. This is the interpretation of Megatwingo, but I do get that. I could think that this is exactly what it is, and I do love the fact that it could be a double meaning because, well, like I said before, I do love double meanings in stories, and I do think that the men of Rammstein are very intelligent and that they put anything they like, even hidden messages in the video that we're not even getting to right now. I think this is a kind of video that you can watch like over and over and over again and still will find new things that have a meaning. But kudos to you, Mega, because I think, well, the way I see it and the way they reacted on you reacting on me, I think you react to several German interpretations and you're known for it. And I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. So that is the eating part. And there we are again, the rocket, first man-made object in space as a technical triumph of the German spirit. And at the same time, the killing of the concentration camp prisoners in the bunker factories below the mountains during the production of that rocket. In this scene of the video, there could be the representation of a very specific concentration camp. It was Mittelbau-Dora, below the Kostein mountain. A mixture between a big, huge bunker factory for the V1 and the V2 rockets and a concentration camp. The concentration camp inmates had several different markings for different kinds of convicts and their crimes sewn into their chest, like it was in reality too. A pink triangle for homosexuals, the Star of David for Jews, and two of them were marked with a double triangle for Jehovah's Witnesses. Even reading it and knowing that it really happened, that's a lot to take in, let's be honest. It's a lot to take in, and I commend them for putting it in the way they did. Because we see horrific things happening here, but we also see them in the striped suits. It's a lot. It's a lot. Deutschland, Deutschland über allen. This one I would love to know more about because the phrase normally is Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. And I looked it up because I thought I was wrong, that I heard and said it wrong always. But here it says Deutschland, Deutschland über allen, which must have a different meaning, must mean something else. Maybe I will read it later on and then I'm not going to edit it out because I just saw it right now. But that is a thing that I would love to know more about because that must have a meaning too. The scene with Rammstein wielding guns, the pump gun, and taking Germania hostage was about left-wing terrorism of the 1970s. The terrorists were called the RAF, die Rote Armee Fraktion. Oh my. I think I saw her packed with explosives. I did hear it the first time, I forgot to mention it. But don't you get a lot of thunderstruck from AC/DC vibe here? I have it with the guitar solo and then the Deutschland. It could be thunder. There is something in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that gives me that vibe. The book burning of the Nazis and the burning of the witches of the church. In the same scene with the book burning, there's even more going on. The cooperation of the church with the Nazis when the priest with the cross embraces the Nazi SA man. SA is Sturmabteilung. But the troops who smashed the Jewish shops during the Kristallnacht. That is not shown. That was the Sturmabteilung in the brown uniform, and the later SS, the Schutzstaffel, in the black uniform. The book burning was a part of the early Nazi years too, and it was done by the SA too. One can see the SA burning the books and Till is watching it in a brown SA uniform. Both Kristallnacht and the book burnings were different things and happened at different times. The book burning happened over a long time span in different locations, and the different times during the Kristallnacht was one big event that happened at one single day. Kristallnacht means crystal night, and it was called that way because the smashed shops' windows of the Jewish shops looked like thousands of crystals on the ground. But in Rammstein's video, I've only seen the book burnings. Wow. Thank you again for this extra information, and I don't know whether to cry or go on because it does hit me, and I don't know if I want to have that one explained, by the way. The dog. Well, to be honest, over here, I would think these would be the Leonbergers, and that the first dogs I saw with Germania, in my opinion, were shepherds. I don't know if they were German shepherds. There's all kind of shepherds, of course, but it would be logic that they were German shepherds. But over here, I would say Leonbergers were born, or maybe they just look like this as puppies, and they grown to be looking like shepherds when they grow up. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. This whole thing about her getting pregnant and giving birth to the dog, I don't know if one of you told me something about that. That is something I don't know. They give me some extra information over the two beer drinking soldiers on the left side of the table where Germania was lying when they were having the food of her body. They're not French soldiers. They aren't representing the French revolutions. Those two beer drinking soldiers are Prussians soldiers, and they are emphasizing the importance of Prussia for the German history. As far as he could see, they were from the era from Friedrich der Große, the old Fritz, who was extraordinary importance of German history. Amongst many other achievements, he was the one who brought the potato to Prussia and Germany. That saved many Germans from hunger, and the potato became one of the most beloved food in Germany on that way. To be honest, there's still a lot left. Why is she pregnant from the dogs? Is that saving Germany from extinction? And did she get the Leonberger because they were saved from extinction? What's with the red? What's with the person or object at the front in the red with the beaming eyes, totally in red? Is there a reason they all wear red gloves? Maybe I'm far-fetching right now, but because I saw so many things and so many things I could not explain. I liked the outro a lot too, the last time I looked at it, and I'm just going to read something that Mega also gave to me. He said, finally, the scenes I'm now talking about are pretty dark and low light. The World War II submarine in the submarine bunker during the astronauts are walking by with the glass coffin. I think the choice of the black woman as a main actress was made because it makes any accusations of racism and fascism against Rammstein's useless. She represents one color of the German flag, and she is wearing the rest of the colors of her German flag, as makeup and jewelry are clothes on her body, black, red, and gold. And see, it provokes many people even more. and I do agree there as well. And then he gives me a very nice explanation about the name, but I have to look into that before I'm just gonna blab that here. But I want to thank you all for all the explanations you gave. And I think I took the most of Megatwingo because they were so accurate and I did look them up. Do I understand the whole video now? No, I don't. Do I get the whole meaning behind the video? No, I didn't. But I did get a better view on Rammstein and that they are so intelligent and that they are so much more than meet the eyes. And this video, I will have to look it over and over again with all the notations I got now. I will listen to the song over and over again, not only because I want to understand it more, but I really like the song. And I think the next one needs to be Mutter. I will look into that. If you have a better song for me to go to, let me know. Next week, I will do something else first. Of course, it will be metal again, and it will be in 2 parts as well, because I'm pretty sure that band and that song needs an explanation too. And I do hope to see you there, and I do hope that you will help me go through that song as well. But I would thank you all, Dankeschön, for being here through this whole adventure. Like I said, I'm still not sure about everything. Let me know about the things I asked, about the dogs, about the woman, about the pregnancy, and some choice of clothing. I would love to know. But for now, bye bye and be nice.